Okay. So, can you just tell me a little bit about yourself, maybe where you grew up, if you have any siblings, how old you are?
Um,
So, where'd you
I
grow up?
grew up in New York, in the Bronx. Um, I stayed with my mother till about 6 years old. Then I went into foster care with my sister and my brother. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers, including me, makes 6 of us.
Okay.
Um,
Where do you fit in the line? Are you in the middle, the front, the end?
um, I'm the second oldest.
Okay.
My oldest is 20. My older brother is about 28 now.
Okay. And you are, that
I'm
makes you,
25.
okay. And so then you have 4 that are younger than you.
Right.
Okay.
My brother is 1 year. My younger brother is 1 year younger than me.
Okay. And do you guys all have the same mom?
Yes.
Okay. Different dads?
Um, my younger brother, we don't have the same father, and my older brother, we don't have the same father.
Gotcha.
But my sisters, we have the same fathers, and
Okay. Gotcha. So, you know what? I didn't hear your name.
Nelson
And what's your last name?
Gonzalez.
Nelson Gonzalez. Nice to meet you, and thank you. Okay, so how did you and your siblings end up in foster care when you were 6?
My father was very abusive. He would sit there and abuse my mother, so my mother tried to get away, so we ended up homeless. Sleeping under bridges, trains, and different stuff from house to house to house. My mother had went to foster care, well, ACS, and asked for help. She didn't want us taken away, but she was asking for help, you know what I'm saying? Try to get an apartment or where they can refer her, me and her, you know what I'm saying, the kids and her, to either shelter or somewhere
Uh-huh.
where we all could stay with her. They said they would help her, but eventually they lied. They didn't. It was on Thanksgiving where we were sitting around the table with my aunt. We went to one of my aunt's house for the Thanksgiving party, and while we were sitting around the table, they just came and took the kids. They came in the house and they took the kids. So that's.
So you all ended up in foster care at that point. And so where was your dad at this point?
We don't know.
Okay.
Well, at this point in 2013.
No,
or
then.
At that point,
Yeah.
we didn't know. We didn't
Okay.
know anything. You know what I'm saying about.
Right. So you guys all ended up in foster care, and where was your mom staying? With your aunt?
My mom, she ended up going back to my father
Mm-hmm.
at one point, and there's still the abusive things going on. She was coming to see us back and forth, holidays, back and forth, bringing us gifts and stuff, but there was one point where my father was being on her, and she retaliated and stabbed him.
Mm.
And she got incarcerated. Due to her being incarcerated, she lost her rights,
Right.
her custody rights and everything. So from there, we was asking about our mother, and we was told that everybody in our family passed away every time we used to ask.
Now, who
Like,
were
there
you
was
with?
no
Who were you
record.
in foster care with at this point?
Connor McCluskey.
No. I meant like your siblings.
Oh, I was in foster care with my sister Nicole and my brother. We the only 3 that actually stood
Stayed together. Gotcha.
My other 2 sisters got lost in the system. We don't know where she's at. There's no records of her in the system. I guess she got adopted, so there's nothing in the system on her. But yeah, we was kept on asking on where's our mother. We always wanted our mother, you know what I'm saying, to see them. They kept on saying that everybody in our family was passed, that they didn't have no records of any family members in the system for us. So me and my brother and sister, we got accustomed to that, and we forgot about everything. And we went from foster home to foster home. Eventually, my sister had got adopted. She separated from me and my brother. Me and my brother ended up staying close. Wherever he went, I went. If he would go into a mental hospital, I would go in with him.
Now, why
It's
did
not really supposed to be like that, but they made arrangements. Foster care made arrangements for that.
so why? What is his struggle mentally? Your brother's
My brother struggled.
mentally, like why would he end up in a mental hospital?
Me and him, we would end up back and forth in the hospital because we had a lot of anger, and we would go to school and we would just act out.
Yep.
I'm saying it was based on we wanted our mother. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to stay in these foster family
Right.
homes. We was getting beat. I used to get molested by the mother, and so he used to sit there. They used to have him sit there and watch, and so we didn't want to.
Did you say anything to to your social worker?
When it was happening, no,
Right.
because I felt that they wouldn't believe me.
Or you were young or
And I was
shamed
young,
or
and so, but yeah, we would show up a lot of anger. We would run away from the foster homes because we didn't want to be there. So they end up putting us in hospitals, and hospitals end up putting us in group homes, different group homes, and so on.
Now, so during this time, did you go to school?
Yes, we went to a couple of schools. We didn't last long, but yeah, we was going to school.
Did you get your GED?
No, I wasn't able to finish that.
What year? What level of education did you end up?
I've completed all the way. I made it to the 11th grade, the last year of the 11th grade when I was going to graduate, actually. But they offered me an IEP diploma, and I told them I didn't want an IEP diploma. So
Right.
I left, and I ended up not graduating.
Okay. Is that something you want to go back and finish?
Yeah, I would like to, but I really feel that IEP diploma, I don't really, I always wanted a normal, you know what I'm saying? A normal graduation like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Whether I get the graduation ring and I have a real diploma and not a special ed diploma.
Right. Right.
So I always felt that an IEP diploma is not going to make me like that. But now that you know what I'm saying, I'm older, and so a diploma's a diploma.
Exactly.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, nobody has to know if it's an IEP
Exactly.
or, I mean, nobody has to know.
and if I can go back, I would.
Well-
I would love to go back. And
You know what? There's tutoring, you know. There's a study that recently came out, and it said, something like, I don't know, if you have like a high school diploma on average, like you'll earn like 10% more, throughout your whole lifetime. So, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's worth some time while you're still young, you've got a lot of energy. So while this time you were in foster care, I guess so your mom at this point?
at the time that I was in foster care, there was no records of her. As I got older, I've asked frequently. My brother, he totally forgot about her, and I used to ask him, do you remember mom? Do you miss mom? And as he got older, he tendency of like cursing her out, like cursing her name in vain, like say bad stuff about her. But I know he didn't mean it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just what they put in our head. We got it. We believed it,
Right.
even though it wasn't true. But
Now, so how'd you come to find out that it wasn't true?
now as I got older, I kept on asking. I went into more details with my caseworker, and I asked him, "Can you check once again? Can you go through the files from starting at 6 and he brought me in?" And he actually found that the only number they had was my grandmother. I had called my grandmother, and my grandmother to this day, God bless her, but she just passed away not last year. My grandmother was the type, she was very two-faced, and she didn't like her family, her daughters. She never liked her kids. She only favored one of her daughters and not the rest of them. So my mother basically grew up in what I grew up as, being raped. And my oldest brother, she got raped and became
Your
pregnant
oldest
with
brother, what?
my older brother.
He got raped?
No, she got raped and became pregnant
Oh,
with him.
gotcha.
So she grew up in the same predicament I'm going through. So I understood the way she acted was because that's how she was raised.
So, was your mom ever homeless at some point?
She's homeless now,
Okay.
as we speak, actually.
Louis R. and Emmanuel C. Report to the lobby.
So your mom, so was it just an incredible tragedy that your mom was raped, or was she living on the streets? Did she have drug abuse problems?
She was incarcerated when she got raped.
Gotcha. And why was she, do you know why she was incarcerated?
Stabbed my father. When she retaliated.
Wait a minute. But you said your older brother was a product of her being raped.
Yes. He's 28. 28, 29, one of those.
But your brother, the timeline doesn't make sense.
Louis R. and Emmanuel C. Report to the lobby. Louis R. and Emmanuel C. Report to the lobby now, please.
All right. So I just kind of got lost on the timeline here. So,
She was released in 2000.
okay, wait a minute. So your mother was in jail and she was raped.
Right, that's how she conceived
And
my
she
older brother.
conceived your older brother. Who was she raped? But why was she in jail?
For retaliating and stabbing my father.
But your brother would have been born by then.
No. My brother.
But so they were boyfriend and girlfriend at that point.
Right.
They were boyfriend and girlfriend.
They were never married.
Okay, but they had no kids at this point.
Right. We wasn't in the picture.
Okay, so your mother and father, so your father beat your mother, and your mother stabbed him and went to jail.
Retaliated. Yeah,
And that's, so she got pregnant when she was in jail,
Right.
and then when she came out, she got back with your father.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's the whole thing. But what was the question
Aaron,
again?
please call 3. Aaron, please call 3.
So your mom, so how did you come to find out that they weren't telling you the truth? You were saying like you were pressing them to
I
look at the
kept on
files.
Pressing them. They found out that I had my grandmother was the only number they had there.
That's right.
I had made the phone call. My grandmother was very two-faced, and I asked for my mother, which is her real name is Esperanza Felix. So I asked for her, and she was like, "I don't know no Esperanza Felix." But that wasn't. I didn't only call once. I've called plenty of times to see if anybody else picked up the phone in the house, and still I got the same answer. This was about when I was about 15. When I had turned, after I turned 15, I was in a group home called August Icon when I was 15. I stood there until the age of 18. This foster family came. My brother, meanwhile, was in a foster home already. The family came to the group home and they wanted to take me in. As I was with this family, I got a phone call on my cell phone saying that there's these people that want to meet you at the agency. I was still affiliated with the agency, even though I had two agencies that I was affiliated with, which was St. Christopher Otley and Carter McCuskey. He had said, there's this guy that wants to meet you here. So they asked me to come in. I went in, and it popped up to be my uncle.
Would this be your dad's brother or your mom's
My
brother?
mom's brother.
Oh.
It popped up to be my uncle. It happened to be that when I was in St. Christopher Otley's group home in Queens, in the RTF.
Oh, yes. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me 1 minute.
All right. Now, thanks a lot.
No problem. I'll see you when you come back.
Okay. Go on.
But
So you met your uncle.
right. I met my uncle, and it happened to be when I was in the RTF in Queens, St. Christopher Otley RTF. He used to be a staff member there, and I didn't know that was my uncle the whole time.
Did he know?
No, he didn't know neither. Until he started searching for us, that's when they called me in, and he was like, "Oh, I used to take care of him in the RTF." So I already knew him, and you know what I'm saying, I'm close to him more than I'm close to anybody in my family right now as we speak. I got to talk to him, and I asked him about my mom, and he was telling me, I had told him everything they told me about her, and he was telling me none of that is true. And I kind of knew it. I didn't believe anything like that. But I asked him if I could meet my mom, if I could see her, and he didn't want me to. He felt that my mom wasn't the same person that she was when she was taking care of us until the age of 6. But she's really not. But this is when she had her own apartment. But after a while, he brought me over there to her. The foster care agency didn't really want me being there until I turned 21.
Why?
Until I was out of the system.
Why?
Because she has no custody.
Oh.
She lost her rights, you know what I'm saying? They didn't really want me going back and forth to see her. But I used to sneak out of the foster home to go see her and spend time with her.
And, well, was she good to you?
Yeah, I love my mom. She's not a bad person.
And what's she up to now?
She just lost her apartment about 2 months ago.
Okay.
She lost
And
her apartment.
so when she was in an apartment, was she living by herself or?
She was dating a boyfriend, a guy.
Okay.
His name was Lewis.
Does he treat her well?
No. That's why they ended up losing their apartment with their girls. He tried to attack her in the middle of the streets and so on and so on.
Does your mom ever have a drug issue, a drug dependency?
Yeah, she was on heroin at one point.
Gotcha. And now?
No.
Okay. So where is she living now, your mom?
She's on 135th.
Okay.
In
And
Amsterdam.
in a shelter. Okay. So do you see her often?
Lewis R, report to the lobby now.
The last time I seen her, it was on 3 weeks ago.
Okay,
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
okay,
But this is when I was staying with my brother. My brother has his own apartment. My neighbor's brother. And I was staying with him. But I went into the shelter. So
okay.
I really eliminated a lot of people from like family members.
Okay. And so why did you eliminate them?
I'm trying to take care of what I have to take care of.
Okay.
I'm trying to take care of what I have to take care of. And I feel me taking care of what I have to take care of, it's not, I can't be around a lot of people because it's going to distract me.
Okay. So what are you working on now?
I'm in a shelter. I'm in a shelter called Main Chance. I go to the Back to Work program, which is focused on 80 Van Dam Street.
And what did they do for you there?
They help me go back, get me prepared to go back to work, help me fill out resumes, help me do my resumes.
How old are you
I
now
have
again?
recruiters that,
How old are you now again?
25.
Okay.
I have recruiters that sign me up for job interviews and
Okay.
so on and so on.
So you're living in a shelter. How have you been working?
No, the last time I worked, I was here
Okay.
and I was working construction.
Okay. So did you like it?
Construction?
Yeah.
I love it, yeah. That's
Okay.
one of my favorite jobs.
Okay. And so why did you stop?
You know, I really don't remember,
Okay.
but I think I stopped going to the school. And when I stopped going to the school I used to go to Apex. So Apex is like a hands-on training stuff. So they send you to different construction sites, and while you're training and knocking down walls and different stuff, they pay you at the same time for doing it.
Right.
So that's what I was doing, and I guess I did stop going to the school. So due to the fact that I stopped going to the school,
Right.
I could no longer.
Right. You weren't working either. So I guess that was a couple years. So from the time that, so I guess almost at the same time, it sounds like you aged out. You were living here, right?
Yeah, I've aged
You-
out at 21.
Right. So you aged out in 21, and then I guess you stopped going to Apex too, right?
That was before I aged out.
Okay. So then you aged out, and when you aged out, you went right into a shelter?
No, when I aged out from here, before I aged out, they got me another residence.
Okay.
Kaplan House got me another residence called BCR, Brooklyn Community Resident,
Okay.
which is in Brooklyn.
Right.
And that's where I went after.
Okay. And how come you left there?
I signed out.
Okay.
I signed myself out to go with my uncle to Pennsylvania.
Okay. And so what happened in Pennsylvania?
I went into a shelter called
Hi.
how you doing? I went into a shelter called wow, what's the name of it? It's a very Christian shelter. Salvation Army.
Mm.
I went to a shelter called Salvation Army. They give you 2 weeks to get your stuff together. I wasn't part of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is it's not part of New York. So it's totally different out there. So I had to get all my paperwork. I needed an ID, a PAID, state ID, and the whole 9 yards. And I needed to get my apartment within 2 weeks. But I did it. I have my apartment. I got a 1-bedroom apartment out there in Pennsylvania. Thanks for the help of my uncle. But
Alex, 2018. Alex,
I lost it
2018.
again.
So why'd you lose it again?
I lost it dating the wrong female.
Ah,
So I didn't know this female was married, and so it's turned into a big controversy. So my uncle said that it was best for me to go back to New York. He brought me back to New York, and I stood there for about a year in Pennsylvania. He brought me back to New York, and I said, you know what? I want to go back into the group home setting. The residents, and I want to try, you know what I'm saying, to work on my medication, get back on my medication.
mm-hmm.
So he brought me to Bronx Lebanon Hospital.
So what are you on medication for?
Well, I'm not on medication anymore, but
Okay.
when I was on for bipolar disorder and schizoaffective.
Gotcha.
So he brought me to Bronx Lebanon, and from there I stood in Bronx Lebanon for about 8 months. And from Bronx Lebanon they sent me to a state hospital. I stood in the state hospital for about 2 weeks. And then from the state hospital they sent me to a residence. In the residence I stood there for a year, and I signed myself out again to stay with my brother. So that didn't work out. So obviously now I'm in the shelter.
It sounds like you want your independence. You want your independence.
I want it, but it's I feel like when I get it, I can't hold on to it. And I've had it so many times. It's not like I've never had it. It's not like I never had it. I've had it. I had a beautiful apartment in Pennsylvania. And I could have still have it, but I feel everything I touch, I ruin.
No.
So it's...
Don't be so harsh on
I give up.
yourself.
And no, it's true though. That's not being harsh. It's true. And I hear it from a lot of people. And I can't say it's not true because I could have got everything out of Capitol House that I needed. But me being hard-headed and, you know, I don't have nothing bad to say about Capitol
Right.
House.
Let me just tell you something. So, I have 3 children, 3 teenagers, right? And so I'm 46. And teenagers are teenagers, right? But I didn't know when I was growing up, and my parents didn't know when I was growing up, that the front part of your brain that allows you to think forward, right? That isn't developed yet till you're 25, 26. But they didn't know that when I was growing up. That's some new research that they have. So as a teenager, that part of your brain is just not developed. So you're not able to make good decisions that now for further along down the road. You just don't have that capacity. It's like asking a 1-year-old to walk or a 3-month-old to walk. Their body's just not developed. And it's the same thing with the teenage brain. It's just not that developed. So if you don't have a lot of that guidance, you don't have it up here yet. You're just not there yet. So don't be so harsh on yourself. It's true. It's true.
I know how to do, you know what I'm saying, a lot of things.
Right.
It's just I choose not to do it, even though I'm doing this now, what I'm doing now, the shelter, and this is the longest I've stayed in the shelter, and I don't like shelters.
Now, how long are you there for?
And out of this shelter, I really don't like, and I sleep on a chair. It's not even a bed, I sleep on a chair. But I'm only doing this shelter because I don't want to go into Bellevue shelter, which is the dirtiest shelter. And I've been there for a week and a half, and this is the longest I actually stood in the shelter. I preferred in the back of my mind to sleep on an A train than to sleep in the shelter.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying, it's more dangerous in the shelter than it is, you know what I'm saying, on the A train. At least I know there's a cop on every A train or every subway. So I feel in the shelter you have to watch your back, and you gotta watch who steals your stuff, and so The only thing that's keeping me focused right now and staying in that shelter and focusing, waking up 6 o'clock in the morning every day to go to my back to work program and signing up for a construction site is I have 2 kids.
Oh, do you?
So that's the only reason why I want to do what I have to do now that I'm 25 before I get old.
Mm-hmm. And how many? How old are they?
I have a newborn which is 3 months and I have one that's 2.
Wow. And where do they live?
No, I have one that's turning 2 in January.
Okay.
Keep on thinking these 2.
And where do they live?
Huh?
Where do they live?
They were staying with the mother, but the mother is anger problems and she slapped her ACS worker and they took the kids behind that. So they're in ACS in Brooklyn actually. In ACS in Brooklyn. They want me to take custody of the kids. But I can't. I'm doing this so I can get, you know what I'm saying? I
Right.
want them.
Down the road, right. Make you stronger.
It's just
right.
hard.
Right,
It's real hard.
right.
And if it wasn't for Kaplan House, I wouldn't realize it's hard. I was homeless while I was here too, when they used to kick me out. So I had to stay out for 3 days. So I used to sleep on the streets. So.
Have you ever been incarcerated?
Yes, I just came out August 9th.
And what were you in jail for?
Violating order of protection. I had a fight. So,
With the female and with who? You had a fight with?
with my best friend. Well, with a friend, yeah,
Okay,
I beat him up.
okay. How long were you in jail for?
8 months.
And was that the only time?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, basically, yeah.
okay. So you're off your medication, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking back, if you could do things differently, what would you do? Or do you think? Yeah, what would you do?
Call on 60, Paul, pick up on 60.
Let me go back again. Do you think there was enough services offered to you? Do you think that the system could have been better to you? How do you think it
Certain-
failed?
I mean, certain systems, but
Well, clearly, being in an abusive foster care house where you're being physically abused is unacceptable.
it's not. I mean, if I can go back and turn back the hand of times, I'd have been less much hard-headed than what I was. But
Or if you had someone else that you were trying to mentor that was in a similar situation, what sort of heads up would you give them? How could you coach them to maneuver through?
do something I never did, take advantage of the system.
And why
I mean,
don't you?
If I would have knew that back then, I would have had everything.
Elijah, please
You know what I'm
come
saying?
to
I
the
wouldn't
back. Elijah,
be in the
please come to
predicament
the
I was in.
back.
And, you know, I would have thought before I had these kids. Not that I'm saying that I regret my kids, but I would have thought before I would have had them.
That brain, it's not so bad.
But I knew there was a system, and there was people. My uncle used to tell me. My uncle got me into this place. They didn't.
Well, we're just finishing up. We shouldn't be too much longer. So we'll just use the room for about 10 more minutes.
They this place didn't want to take me. You know, but my uncle used to be here. My uncle was actually residence here, and
Why didn't they want to take you here?
I don't really know the reason, but
Are you considered a harder case?
yeah, it's some more. I would consider myself in my case a little difficult.
Why?
But I don't know. I'm a very difficult person to deal with. Well, not now, but back then I was a very difficult, and I didn't care who you were, and I wouldn't listen to you. If you was not my mother, I wouldn't listen to you. And I used to say that a lot to Captain House. You're not my father, you're not my mother. I don't have to do nothing you tell me to do. So that's how it was. So I still had in the back of my mind, I just wanted to be with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be nowhere else. I just wanted to be with my mother. And now that 2013, I would give anything, you know what I'm saying, to live with her.
Still.
But still. Because I never had that. So, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you feel there's enough services for you now? And are you taking advantages of those services?
if there's enough services for me now, no. I would say no, because it's taking longer than what it was. Back then, it wouldn't take this long to get my apartment.
Right.
But due to the economy and all the budgets, and they cut a lot of stuff in
Okay.
shelters, so it's
Okay.
not really like that. But I'm
Okay.
doing it because I just want my kids.
Okay. Well, I sincerely wish you well. I sincerely, I think it's not easy. It's never easy. But there are a lot of programs out there, and take advantage of them. Because people typically, I'm going to turn this off.